friends. I'm seeing everybody do that. Cool. Our service is open to all, visitors, friends, and members. Whether you are single, partnered, or a family of any type, we welcome you. Whether you are here in sanctuary with us, watching live online, or on demand, may our time together be one of learning and celebration. My name is Teresa McReynolds, and I am your worship associate this morning. I am a grateful, excited, loving member of this community. And I serve as a worship associate, and I just got elected to the board. Thank you. Not sure if I'll be thanking you at the end of the year, but no, thank you. Our worship service today is led by David Fenimore. David is a UUCSJS member and an emeritus professor of English at the University of Nevada, where for 33 years he taught literature, storytelling, and the humanities. He has occasionally portrayed Woody on stage. You know who I mean by Woody, right? Most recently, at the 2022 Colorado High Plains Chautauqua. Last month, he spent 3 weeks traveling around Oklahoma in character as early Western writer Zane Grey. How many remember Zane Grey, Western theater? Yeah. Video of today's service will be available on your YouTube channel later today. To those gathered live on Facebook, we welcome your comments as well as your joys and sorrows on that platform. But please remember that this video will be on the internet, so do not share information best kept private. We have a few announcements today. You are all invited to our annual ice cream social following the service and hosted by the Margaret Circle. Frozen treats of all kinds will be available, so stop by and say hi and help us celebrate National Ice Cream Day. Who would have thought? Today, isn't it today?
Yes.
And there's even vegan. Yay, vegan ice cream. Okay, cool. Sign-ups are now open for our next cohort of Soul Matters small groups. Meetings begin in September. There is a sign-up sheet in the back of the sanctuary, or you can see Jessica Dunn-Sononoff for more information. There are a number of outside activities, fundraisers, opportunities to do good posted on the community-wide bulletin board in the hallway near the restrooms, not the restaurant, the ice cream restaurant, the restrooms. Please take a look and see where you can get involved. And you can also talk to me, because I know some things. Not much, but a little. Join us next Sunday for What Time Is It? Presented by Reverend Julie Newhall. Welcome to worship.
Good morning. You should all have a song book, I call it, a single sheet there. Let's sing along with this Dust Bowl ballad, this window into the lives of anywhere between 10 and 20% of Americans in the 1930s. I ain't got no home, I'm just a roaming round. I'm just a wandering worker and I go from town to town. And the police make it hard wherever I may go. And I ain't got no home in this world anymore. My brothers and my sisters are stranded on this road, hot, dusty road that 1,000,000 feet have trod. A rich man took my house and drove me from my door, and I ain't got no home in this world anymore. I mined in your mines and I gathered in your corn. I've been working, mister, since the day that I was born. Now I worry more than I ever did before, 'cause I ain't got no home in this world anymore. Now as I look around, it's mighty plain to see this world is such a great and a funny place to be. Oh, the gambling man is rich and the working man is poor, and I ain't got no home in this world anymore. No, I ain't got no home in this world anymore. No, I ain't got no home in this world anymore.
Okay. Chalice lighting will be, chalice lighter today will be Barbara Morell. Please join me in reading the chalice lighting words in your order of service. We light this chalice with hope, a sturdy flame we nurture in these difficult times, as we come together to celebrate who we are, to share the insights that give meaning and hope to our lives, and to learn from the wisdom of others, that their truths may contribute to our understanding and to the movement for justice alive in this world today. Gathering Hymn 1023.
Are you supposed to switch? Turn around.
We're going to sing it through together, and then we're going to break it parts and join in.
Building bridges between our divisions, I reach out to you, will you reach out to me? With all of our voices and all of our visions, friends, we could make such sweet harmony. Building bridges between our divisions, building bridges between our divisions, I reach out to you, will you reach out to me? With all of our voices and all of our visions, friends, we could make such sweet harmony. Building bridges between our divisions, I reach out to you, will you reach out to me? With all of our voices and all of our visions, friends, we could make such sweet harmony. I reach out to bridges between our divisions, I reach out to you, will you reach out to me? With all of our voices and all of our visions, friends, we could make such sweet harmony.
Nice. All right, Jessica, I think, you're doing Times for All Ages, correct? It's time for all ages right now.
I thought opening words was first, right?
Let me see if I'm wrong. Gathering Hymns, time for all ages.
Okay.
Speaker will do.
I've never been on this end of it before.
Yeah.
Okay, Woody Guthrie loved kids. Woody Guthrie loved to play marbles with every little boy and girl in his New York City neighborhood. He loved to glue flowers out of seashells and popsicle sticks and slather watercolors on paper with the careless creativity that he saw little kids use. One of Woody's kids was a daughter, Kathy Ann, who he called Stack of Bones, or sometimes Catharoonie, or Little Miss Stack, or variations of that. As a 3-year-old, she was a happy kid. She loved her dad, how crazy he was, a little kid at heart, and Woody, in turn, doted on her. He was in the Merchant Marines at the time during World War II, but when he came home on leave, he'd play with her for hours, and he was fascinated by the way that kids talk. And he'd make songs out of their word plays. So this is one of those songs from his recording of children's songs called Songs to Grow on Nursery Days. And it's the kind of song where you can imagine singing it with a bunch of kids and just having the kids make up their own verses as they went. And it's like, you know how kids always ask questions, you don't really know the answers? Why can't a dish break a hammer? Why, oh, why, oh, why? 'Cause a hammer's got a really hard head. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Why, oh, why, oh, why, oh. Why, oh, why, oh, why? Because, goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Why can't a bird eat an elephant? Why, oh, why, oh, why? 'Cause an elephant's got a pretty hard skin. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Okay, now each one of you is going to make up a verse. We're going to go around the room. Okay, ready? Oh, never mind. I'll do it for you here. Why can't a mouse eat a streetcar? Why, oh, why, oh, why? 'Cause a mouse's stomach could never get big enough to hold a streetcar. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Why does a cow drink water? Tell me why, oh, why, oh, why? Because the cow gets thirsty just like you or me or anybody else. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. You see the game here, right? Why are there no quarters for ice cream? Why, oh, why, oh, why? 'Cause you put all the quarters in the pinball machine. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Why, oh, why, oh, why, oh. Why, oh, why, oh, why? Because, goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Your turn.
Wait a minute. So I made a mistake. We were supposed to do opening words before the chalice lighting. And I turned the page too quickly. So can you do opening words now?
Sure. I'm ready for anything, I am.
Yay!
Improvisation, that's the name of the game.
Yay!
Okay, tomorrow, July 14th, marks the 113th birthday of poet, musician, and political activist Woody Guthrie. His songs celebrate the kinds of people that were rarely, if ever, celebrated or even mentioned in popular music at the time. Workers, immigrants, drifters, displaced and houseless families, and other marginalized folks. But one time, Woody was busy working on a songbook he called Hard-Hitting Songs for Hard-Hit People, and he asked his old buddy, John Steinbeck, to write an introduction. Steinbeck agreed, and this is what John Steinbeck wrote. Woody is just Woody. Thousands of people do not know he has any other name. He is just a voice and a guitar. He sings the songs of a people, and I suspect that he is, in a way, that people. Harsh-voiced and nasal, his guitar hanging like a tire iron on a rusty rim, there is nothing sweet about Woody, and there is nothing sweet about the songs he sings. But there is something more important for those who will listen. There is the will of a people to endure and fight against oppression. John Steinbeck ended his introduction by writing, I think we call this the American spirit. But 85 years later, I'd make one small revision and change that to, I think we call this the human spirit.
I'm glad we went back for that. Thank you. We will invite all the young people present or those young at heart who would like to come explore the wonder of nature with us in our e-learning lab today to exit the sanctuary with me in just a minute. We'll meet in the foyer outside the doors. Before we do that, we will light the Children's Religious Education Lantern. We light this lantern for our children and youth and for us, celebrating the flame of faith lighted in each of us, honoring the light each of us brings into the world, rejoicing in the community that we create together.
Did you see his little smile? He was so excited. Yes. A book is provided in the foyer in which you are invited to write whatever joys and sorrows you have entered. I will read what you have shared. Congratulations to Kenny. He is leaving his job of 5.5 years for a new opportunity with another organization. Yay, Kenny. Yay. Good luck. Anybody would be happy to get you. You're amazing. Friday night, cool cats eased into the hot chamber. A fun time was had for all. Thanks to Allison and Katie for organizing the Green Light Coffee House. Yay. It was so fun, wasn't it? Yeah. Let's share now in a quiet time together to reflect upon our week. During the musical interlude, you may come forward and place a pebble in the water to acknowledge a personal joy or sorrow. Let us be in the spirit of prayer. Blessed and holy creation, universe of wonder, mystery beyond definition, we share today our joys and our sorrow, listening deeply to the things that cause us to weep and to worry, and lifting our hearts as one at those things we would celebrate together. Our hearts are touched by this standard and shared ritual, and we are connected. We pray for those who are apart from us, whether by distance or time or conflict unresolved. We pray for those who thirst, whether for water, dignity, or justice. We pray for those who are in danger and who yearn for safety. And we pray for our small, blue, fragile planet. Amen. Aho. So mote it be.
Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul. Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul. Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul. Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul.
Every week, we take up an offering during our service. It's good to remind ourselves from time to time that that offering is symbolic as well as practical. We know that it is through pledges that we build our budget and fund our yearly programs and ministries of worship and religious education, pay our staff and professional religious leaders, and finance the comfort and the beauty of our building. If this is your first time visiting, feel free to let the basket pass, as your presence is gift enough. For those who are participating online, please visit uucsjs.org and click on the yellow Donate button for ways to donate. Our offering says that the act of giving is essential to our spiritual well-being, as anything else we do on a Sunday morning. This morning's offering will now be given and received in the spirit of grateful fellowship.
How many of you have even heard of Woody Guthrie? All right, preaching to the choir here. Although he's always, thought of as an Oklahoma guy, a dust bowler, Woody actually spent most of his life in Los Angeles and New York City. But he was born in the small town of Okemah, Oklahoma. His dad, a hog farmer and county politician, named him Woodrow Wilson Guthrie, after the Democratic nominee for U.S. president that year. And as we know, Woodrow Wilson was elected. As Woody explained later, in Oklahoma at that time, the Republicans had about as much power as the vegetarians. Okemah was a Southern Democratic town and, about as racist as they came, but still Woody grew up among not just white farmers and merchants, but also blacks who had fled the post-Civil War South, Mexican Americans who had moved up north from Texas, and members of the Cherokee, Muskogee, Comanche, Osage, and other indigenous nations. He attended high school for a few years before dropping out, but he kept reading like a madman in the public library, philosophy and religion and history. At the time, Prohibition was in full swing, and the oil boom had begun in that part of Texas and Oklahoma. So Woody got a job at Shorty Harris's drugstore, where he worked the counter. His main job at the drugstore was selling bootleg whiskey to all sorts of citizens, from gamblers and prostitutes to oil workers, engineers, local politicians, and so forth. The philosophy of his customers, Woody once said, was to make all the money you can, spend it as quick as you can, drink as much as you can, and then end up in the can. But fortunately, it was there at the drugstore that Woody found an old guitar lying around in a back room. He learned to play the guitar by ear, and before long was performing folk songs and ballads at barn raisings, house parties, country dances, and so forth. He also made money doing odd jobs, painting signs and houses and portraits on demand. He ended up marrying his best friend's sister, and 3 children quickly followed, but Woody was restless. His new brother-in-law said that Woody was the least adapted to marriage of anyone who ever took the vow. I'm going to California, where they sleep out every night. I'm going to California, where they sleep out every night. These Oklahoma women, they sure ain't treating me right. That's the Jimmie Rodgers song, a big hit in those days, Blue Yodel number 4. And Woody recalled seeing men in front of the general store clustered around a record player listening to that song and nodding approvingly. And it wasn't long before Woody followed Jimmie Rodgers' advice, along with many or most of his neighbors. The entire region was hit by the double whammy of the Great Depression and of mile-high dust storms, because the farmers had plowed up all the ground, and when there was a drought, it had no ability to hold the soil down. So by 1937, the 25-year-old Woody left his young family behind, and went to California, where he ended up hitchhiking to Los Angeles, and country music and cowboy music were all the rage there in LA, and within a few months, Woody was hosting a daily half-hour show on a Hollywood radio station. This was what was called a clear channel AM station, so at night, his family and friends could hear him all the way back in Oklahoma. And it was then and there that Woody began writing his own songs, what he called singing some new songs in the old way. Now, what Woody did, his method, was to take a familiar old tune that everybody knew and write new lyrics to this well-known melody. Like the one I sang for the prelude, I Ain't Got No Home. That was a popular hymn tune that everybody would have sung in church. Everybody knew it. Woody liked to say that he wasn't stealing these old melodies. He was just borrowing them, and he always meant to put them back when he was done. His guitar playing, as he put it, was nothing fancy on a stick, fortunately for me. He wanted it to sound rough and wild. The guitar for Woody was only a way to get you to listen to what he had to say. There's nothing technical or sophisticated about his music. It takes no training at all to sing it, and very little training to play it. It's the oldest kind of music there is, based in the oral tradition, the music of the common people. And it worked for Woody. Many, if not most of his fans on the radio were fellow Okies, along with Kansans and what they called Arkies and Texies from Arkansas and Texas. 2.5 million people had fled the Dust Bowl, and a bigger threat to their livelihoods was the farm foreclosures as a result of the Great Depression. They traveled across the country to work in the fields and orchards of California. It was, they say, the largest mass migration in U.S. history. And Woody was singing about their lives. He once said, I had relatives living under every bridge in California. All the important bridges, anyway. Well, back in 1927, I had a little farm. I called it heaven. Crop prices up and the rain come down, so I took my crops into town, got the money, bought clothes and groceries, fed the kids, and took life easy. Well, the rain had quit and the wind got high and a big old dust storm filled the sky, so I traded my farm for a Ford machine and I filled it full of gasoline. And there we went, leaving the Dust Bowl, rocking and rolling across the deserts and the mountains, heading for the old Peach Bowl. Some people call it California. We got to Los Angeles, sure we're broke and so darn hungry I thought we'd choke, so I bummed up a spud or two and my wife, she fixed us a tater stew. We fed the kids, big plate of it. Mighty thin stew, though. That stew was so thin. I said that stew was so thin.
How thin was it?
So thin you could read a magazine through it. And I often have thought if that stew had been just a little bit thinner, maybe some of these politicians could have seen through it. He's singing their lives, you see. Talking blues he learned from a couple of black kids back in Okemah. Would he like to say there are different kinds of refugees? There are people who take refuge under a railroad bridge because they ain't got no place else to stay. And then there are those who take refuge in public office. The government wasn't much help. Most of the migrants lived in tent cities, homemade shacks, or just camped out in the open. They were exploited by the growers and harassed by local police and vigilantes. So Woody began teaming up with like-minded do-gooders like a young journalist named John Steinbeck and a left-wing Hollywood actor named Will Geer, also known as Grandpa Walt. They took carloads of supplies to the migrant camps and organized benefit performances, and this led Woody to associate with a local branch of the Communist Party, which was at the time trying to unionize the farm workers for better wages and working conditions. Now, Woody always claimed he wasn't a communist necessarily, although he said, I have been in the red all my life. But what he called his left-handed songs eventually got him kicked off the radio. It was late 1940 when he stuck out his thumb and headed east to New York City, where Will Geer had written him to say the first American flowering of folk music was in full bloom. Now, as Woody made his way across the country, it was late 1940, big winter, he kept hearing a new hit song. God bless America. It was Kate Smith singing that Irving Berlin tune. He heard it everywhere, and it made him angry. He said God had definitely not blessed many of the poor, the homeless, the outcasts from those Depression years. So his response was to scribble new lyrics to another old country song. At first, he called the song God Blessed America for Me, but later he gave it the title we all know it by, Even We Never Heard of Woody Guthrie. So this is practically the unofficial national anthem, so we'll all sing it together. And we're going to sing in particular, if you consult your song sheets there, a couple of verses that Woody wrote. He taught his son Arlo to play these, to play the guitar much later, and told Arlo that if you ever sang this song, never leave out these two verses. Unfortunately, many cover versions over the years do leave these verses out. For example, Frank Sinatra's version, the recording by Annette Funicello and Paul Anka, not to mention the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. They all leave out these verses, so let's not repeat their mistake. Let's do the chorus first, because everybody knows it, right? This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made for you and me. Okay, here come the communists. These verses, by the way, were singled out by Glenn Beck on his TV show one time. There was a wall there that tried to stop me, and a sign that said private property, but on the other side it didn't say nothing. That side was made for you and me. In the shadow of the steeple, I saw my people. By the welfare office, I saw my people. As they lined up hungry, I stood there asking, is this land made for you and me? So never forget those verses, okay? If you're ever singing this song at a party or a political rally, Woody would be happy if you didn't forget those verses. So Woody got to New York City, and he started meeting people. He met Pete Seeger, who he said, Pete doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke, he doesn't chase women, he's weird. He met Alan Lomax that took him to Washington, recorded for the Library of Congress. He got back on the radio in New York and made his first commercial recordings, and soon he became a local celebrity. He was making good money at last, making so much money he liked to say he used it to sleep under. But he was spending it and giving it away faster than he earned it. At the end of his handwritten lyrics to This Land Is Your Land, Woody wrote, all you can write is what you see. And at some level, Woody knew he was losing his connection to the down and out America that he sang about. Yet less than a year later, he got to New York in 1941. He quit his high-paying radio job and went back out west, where he bummed around for a while until he landed a job, believe it or not, with the U.S. Department of the Interior, writing songs about hydroelectric dams on the Columbia River. This is one of the 26 songs that Woody wrote for a documentary film about the benefits of irrigation and electrification to residents of the rural Pacific Northwest. Got the lyrics there. It's a mighty hard road that my poor hands have hoed, and my poor feet have traveled a hot, dusty road. Out of your dust bowl and westward we rolled, and your deserts were hot and your mountains were cold. I worked in your orchards of peaches and prunes, slept on the ground in the light of the moon. On the edge of your city you'll see us, and then we come with the dust and we go with the wind. California, Arizona, I harvest your crops. Then it's north up to Oregon to gather your hops. Dig the beets from the ground, cut the grapes from your vines, to lay on your table your light, sparkling wine. Green pastures of plenty from dry desert ground, from the Grand Coulee Dam where the waters run down. Every state in the Union us migrants have been. We'll work in this fight and we'll fight till we win. It's always we ramble, this river and I. All along your green valley I'll work till I die. My land I'll defend with my life if need be, 'cause my pastures of plenty must always be free. Must always be free. Light sparkling wine. And Woody wants us to remember every time we eat a salad or raise a glass of champagne, he wants you to think of the low-paid workers at the other end of the supply chain. Speaking of low wages, he made $10 for writing that song. He made $266 for 26 songs. Supposed to be working for a year, but once again, his communist connections got him fired. And he went back to New York just as the U.S. entered World War II. He began writing patriotic songs and playing for war bond drives and USO benefits. One time, Woody, during World War II, was playing at a benefit in Baltimore with two of his musical friends, Sonny Terry and Brownie McGee. And after the show, Woody was invited to sit down for lunch. Sonny Terry and Brownie McGee, who were both black, were told they had to eat in the kitchen. Woody protested. "Well, Mr. Guthrie," said his host, "this is Baltimore, remember?" Woody exploded. He started pulling tablecloths off tables, shattering china, scattering silverware, shouting, "This fight against fascism has got to start right here and right now." Kind of reminds you of somebody in an old book here. You know, Jesus in the temple with the money changers. Yeah. He enlisted in the Merchant Marines. His ship was torpedoed out from under him 3 times. He had to abandon ship. He always made sure he had his fiddle, guitar, and mandolin before he abandoned ship. He would sing with his shipmates to keep their spirits up, including the black shipmates. The ships in World War II, even the Merchant Marines, were segregated. There was the black quarters and the white quarters, and Woody insisted on going to play music with the black sailors because he said the acoustics were much better down there. Got in trouble for that. But here's one of the songs he wrote for a war bond benefit. I think it's a great little ditty that we all should learn and sing together. I think it's number 3 on your sheet. Should have been 4. I'm going to tell you, fascists, you may be surprised. People in this great big world are getting organized. You're bound to lose, you fascists bound to lose. Here's the chorus. All you fascists bound to lose. All you fascists bound to lose. All you fascists bound to lose. Hey, you fascists, you're bound to lose. You got it? People of every color walking side by side, marching across those fields where our freedom fighters died. You're bound to lose, you fascists bound to lose. All you fascists bound to lose. All you fascists bound to lose. All you fascists bound to lose. Hey, you fascists, you're bound to lose. All right. Next time you're in ShopRite, just walk around and sing that one. After the war, Woody was drinking more heavily than ever and gradually showing symptoms of the hereditary Huntington's disease that he inherited from his mother. Over the following 20 years, it slowly destroyed his body and mind. He spent most of the last 15 years of his life in hospitals. As you may have seen dramatized in that Bob Dylan biopic, A Complete Unknown, one day before he was hospitalized in 1948, he was sitting by the radio when he heard that a plane load of immigrant farm workers, braceros as they called them then, were being deported back to Mexico by plane, and the plane had crashed in Southern California, killing everyone on board. So the newscaster recited the names, ages, and hometowns of the pilot, of the co-pilot, and 2 immigration officers, and then added that the other 28 casualties were just deportees. And Woody once again got enraged, sprang into action. He was no longer able to play the guitar, but he scribbled down a poem, which 10 years later was set to music by school teacher Martin Hoffman. This is said to be the last complete song that Woody ever wrote. One detail that might help you understand the opening lines of the song: among the dishonest practices of many growers then was to destroy massive amounts of fruit to keep the prices high. The field workers were still required to pick all that fruit, but they were not paid for picking whatever was destroyed. And then the growers would sometimes call immigration authorities and have the workers deported to avoid having to pay them. And so Woody gets all this into this song. I think one of the most important songs he ever wrote. He never sang it or recorded it as far as anybody knows, but a lot of other people have. Feel free to sing along with the chorus. The choir is going to join in and help us. The crops are all in and the peaches are rotting. The oranges are piled in their creosote dumps. They're flying us back to the Mexican border to pay all our money to wade back again. Goodbye to my Juan, goodbye Rosalita, adios mis amigos, Jesus y Maria. You won't have a name when you ride the big airplane. All they will call you is just deportee. Some of us are illegal and some are not wanted. Our work contract's up and we got to move on. 600 miles to that Mexican border. They chase us like outlaws, like rustlers, like thieves. Goodbye to my Juan, goodbye Rosalita, adios mis amigos, Jesus y Maria. You won't have a name when you ride the big airplane. All they will call you is just deportee. Well, the sky plane exploded over Los Gatos Canyon, a fireball of lightning that shook all our hills. Who are these friends all scattered like dry leaves? The radio says they are just deportees. Goodbye, my Juan, goodbye, Rosalita, adios, mis amigos, Jesus y Maria. You won't have a name when you ride the big airplane. All they will call you is just deportee. Tell me, is this the best way we can grow our big orchards? Is this the best way we can harvest our fruit? To fall like dry leaves and just rot into topsoil and be known by no name except deportees. Goodbye, my Juan, goodbye, Rosalita, adios, mis amigos, Jesus y Maria. You won't have a name when you ride the big airplane. All they will call you is just deportee. All they will call you is just deportee. All they will call you is just deportee. Wow. Well, I left out a lot of details of Woody's personal life. Full disclosure, he was not a nice guy. He was serially unfaithful to his 3 wives. At best, he was an intermittent parent to his 8 children. He mooched off his friends. He seldom bathed or brushed his teeth. He borrowed guitars and other items he had no intention of returning, and made drunken advances to many women, regardless of marital status, his or theirs. Pete Seeger used to say, when you saw Woody headed your way, you said, "Oh no, here comes Woody." But later when he left, Pete added, you kind of missed him. One of his union organizer friends in Los Angeles said that Woody was a great lover of humanity in the abstract, but he was rough on people individually. Nevertheless, Woody's second wife, Marjorie, although she remarried, remained devoted to him until his death in 1967, and his children with Marjorie, Arlo and Nora, today are fierce custodians of his memory and his legacy, and his reputation is only growing right now. His influence on American music, even world music, amazing. His songs continue to be recorded by artists, just a few recent examples, England, Germany, Mexico, Spain. Almost every year a new book about him is published. One of the reasons maybe none of his songs are difficult to play or sing. I mean, exhibit number 1, right? I'm playing them. I just learned the guitar yesterday. It's a $100 guitar, you know. The music is just a vehicle for the lyrics, for the poetry. And in one way or another, Woody's lyrics demand compassion, generosity, inclusion, ethical treatment of all, regardless of social status. In other words, the guiding principles of our Unitarian Universalist congregation, right? Even Woody's imperfection as a human being, I like to think, is something that we here at UU are able to understand and accept. Final note, 1951, while Woody was in and out of hospitals, his old buddy Pete Seeger and the Weavers hit number 4 on the Billboard chart with one of Woody's songs. This meant a $10,000 royalty check to Woody and his family. Never seen that much money at once, ever. It's the equivalent of $100,000 today. The payments that followed from this song and from others right up to now support Arlo, Nora, and their children, along with a number of worthy causes. Lately, the steady income has made possible a place I got to visit last month, the new Woody Guthrie Center in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Amazing. And appropriately enough, it's adjacent to the new Bob Dylan Center in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Trust me, a 2-for-1 deal. Totally worth it. Just go there and check it out. So we'll close with this one. Good sing-along. Like This Land Is Your Land, this song is familiar to most people of a certain age, at least, even if they don't know who wrote it. Its other name, it's number 6 on your song sheet there. Its other name is Dusty Old Dust, sometimes listed as it. The lyrics are set to the melody of Leadbelly's Goodnight Irene, which I just realized the other day. And it's got many verses, as do all these songs. We're leaving out some verses for the sake of time, right? But feel free to sing along on the chorus. The dust cloud came and it rolled like thunder. It dusted us up and it dusted us under. And stopped all the traffic and blocked out the sun. Straight to their homes all the people did run, singing so long. It's been good to know you, so long. It's been good to know you, so long. It's been good to know you. This dusty old dust is a-getting my home, and I got to be drifting along. Let's sing it again now that you all know it. So long, it's been good to know you. So long, it's been good to know you. So long, it's been good to know you. This dusty old dust is a-getting my home, and I got to be drifting along. What the heck? One more time. So long, it's been good to know you. So long, it's been good to know you. So long, it's been good to know you. This dusty old dust is a-getting my home, and I got to be drifting along. Happy birthday, Woody. Thanks for all your singing. It was great.
It was great.
Wow, thank you so much. That was wonderful. The singing was great, and it was so great to hear those old protest songs and how relevant they still are. You know, how relevant they are today. So hopefully our next Woody Guthrie is going to rise up. Maybe at the Green Light Coffee House, yeah. And coffee houses were where we got to see all these great acts and people. So, yeah, that would be so cool. Okay, so closing hymn. I got peace like a river.
Number 100.
We're going to sing 1, 2, 3, and 1.
I got peace like a river. I got peace like a river. I got peace like a river in my soul. I got peace like a river. I got peace like a river. I got peace like a river in my soul.
Had a small late course correction here. I was going to read something by Woody, but I was looking up some things that Pete Seeger had written about Woody, and I thought these were actually much more fitting to end this and to look forward to our musical lives here in this congregation and elsewhere. Pete Seeger says, "Once upon a time, wasn't singing a part of everyday life as much as talking, physical exercise, and religion? Our distant ancestors, wherever they were in this world, sang while pounding grain, paddling canoes, or walking long journeys. Can we begin to make our lives once more all of a piece? Finding the right songs and singing them over and over is a way to start. And when one person taps out a beat, while another leads into the melody, or when three people discover a harmony they never knew existed, or a crowd joins in on a chorus as though to raise the ceiling a few more feet higher, then they also know there is hope for the world."
We gotta extinguish the chalice.
Go for it, girl.
Okay. Okay. Let's read together the words for extinguishing the chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Yeah, go for it.
But you have to extinguish it first.
Oh, that's right. Thank you. All right.
Excellent.
Extinguish.
Beautiful. If I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning, I'd hammer in the evening, all over this land. I'd hammer out danger, I'd hammer out warning, hammer out love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. If I had a bell, I'd ring it in the morning, I'd ring it in the evening, all over this land. I'd ring out danger, I'd ring out a warning, ring out got a hammer, and I got a bell, and I got a song to sing all over this land. It's the hammer of justice, hammer of freedom. It's the song about love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. Over this land.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much. And John, thank you for sharing your gifts with us. We always love it when you come and play. Thank you. Oh, wasn't this wonderful? Does your heart feel open? Yeah.
Thank you, David.
Yeah. Thank you, David. My heart feels open. We warmly welcome all of you who are visiting us today. Now, let us share in a moment of silent reflection to consider today's message and the meaning that it has in our lives.